With the family who took in Nikolas Cruz, the 19-year-old who police say killed 17 people in a horrific school shooting last week. Cruz had been living with the Sneeds since Thanksgiving after his adoptive mother, Linda, died of pneumonia. The Sneeds' son was Cruz's friend. James, Kimberly, and their lawyer, Jim Lewis, are here with us now. I want to thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
And James and Kimberly, I can't begin to imagine what it's like for your family. So how are you guys holding up?
It's a roller coaster of emotions. You know, it's still tough. We're still hurting. We're still grieving.
Feeling for the families it's affected.
And you opened your home to Cruz for nearly 3 months.
Yes, sir.
And you tried to get him counseling. And what was he like in your home?
Nothing like they portray on television or in the media.
Everything everybody seems to know, we didn't know. We had rules, and he followed every rule to the T.
And before he moved into your home, how well did you know him?
I had met him a couple times before. He had spent the night at the house, and he was very polite. He seemed normal.
And Kimberly, can you take us back to that day? Was there anything unusual, out of the normal with his behavior before that day?
No. The only thing that was maybe different was that he didn't go to school. He usually drives him to school with him in the morning. He didn't go that particular morning, which sometimes happens. And
he said he didn't go to school on Valentine's Day.
Okay. But when did you realize what he had done?
After the SWAT team called me and asked if I knew where my son Nikolas was. And I said, he's not my son, but I don't know where he's at. And at that point, I got in touch with my son, who was fleeing the scene at that point. And a description came out, and we put 2 and 2 together, me and my son, and we figured out what was happening.
And what was going through your mind when this happened? Did you both find out at the same time?
No, she was home sleeping. And at that point, I was panic-stricken for her safety, so I called the SWAT officer back to get the police back to my home to check on her.
And after all this happened, at one point, you did get a chance to see Nikolas. And what did you say to him? Did he speak back to you? Did he say anything back?
It was at the police station when they were going past us, and I went after him. I really wanted to strangle him more than anything, and everything I wanted to say, I tried to reserve myself. I said, "Really, Nick? Really?" Yelled at him, and he mumbled something, but I didn't hear it. And he said he was sorry.
He said he was sorry,
but I didn't hear that. I was just furious and heartbroken, absolutely just heartbroken, devastated. I still can't process it, what he's done, because this wasn't the person that we knew. Not at all.
And he was friends with your son.
Yes, sir.
Right.
How's your son holding up?
He's angry. He's angry. He's betrayed. He's upset.
Furious.
He was at that school too, and he had friends at that school.
And he was at school that day, James. And I know Nikolas texted your son.
Yes, sir.
What were those texts like?
He told my son he was going to the movies, and he said he had something to tell him. And my son pressed him, "What is it? What is it?" He goes, "Nothing bad, bro." And he goes, and that was it. And then he said he was going to the movies. And then the last text my son got was, "Yo," and that was it. And that was about 2:18, I believe.
Do you have any idea why you think he texted your son?
No idea. No idea.
And Mr. Lewis, thank you for joining us as well. And what is the latest with the FBI investigation of this all?
Well, we're continuing to cooperate with them. These folks opened their house up to the FBI. They've opened their phones. They've cooperated in every way. And I just want people to know out there, these are good people who are trying to do the right thing. They took this young man and got him into another school. They got him a job. They brought him into their home and tried to show him love. The young man, even Nick, indicated that he was very happy in this home. And now, like they say, no good deed goes unpunished.
But are you worried about any legal repercussions with the family?
These folks aren't worried. They're here to tell what happened. If they get sued, if somebody tries to find fault with them. This young man, who they're most concerned about, their own son, he's part of this community too. These are his friends. He wants to go back to the school. They want to get back to their lives.